beginning of another week. It's week 20, and even though I didn't get a lot done this week, I'm still going to take you around, show you what did get done, show you some of the problems that I've been having, and tell you some plans for the future. Okay, so as usual, we're out in the garden where nothing much happened last week. Plans though are I'm gonna start planting my salads down here because I've noticed that when I plant them up here, they tend to bolt. And I think it's just too warm or too sunny, combination of both, I don't know, but I'm gonna try planting them down here and seeing if that does any better. I have been regularly harvesting my mint. So basically, when my plants get to be about that, I'll just hack it down, dry it, and then use it for various different things. So I am trying to get better with actually harvesting the things that I do grow. I'm trying to do the same like with my melissa or my lemon balm. That's my second plant and all of its babies over here. The other plant I moved up here to the chickens. And I do have a little fence around it. So they definitely chew everything that comes out, but the very center is protected. And I'm going to move more plants out in this space because ultimately I want it to be a lot greener than it is right now. So those are some plans coming up. I also know that I want to plant some onions around that bed there. I think maybe over there we're going to put green beans. I know I have green beans kind of slated for this area here, but I still need to prep it. I've noticed the white cabbage moths, which means that I really need to get this bed of brassicas covered. Otherwise, they're probably going to be eaten by caterpillars. The lettuces, I didn't actually realize how quick and easy lettuces are to grow. So I planted a bunch of lettuce. Now we have a lot of lettuce and we don't actually eat that much lettuce. So I'm learning as I go. I did finally get the replacement arch. So originally I had like one of these super, super cheap arches. I think those were like 10 euros. I had one of those here, but with the winds, it finally bit the dust and it just completely buckled and bent and just didn't work. So I invested in a much like thicker, sturdier arch, and I've kind of jerry-rigged my jasmine onto it because I didn't want to cut it down yet since it hasn't flowered. So I'm waiting for it to flower, and then after it flowers, I will actually be giving it a hard cut and then basically retraining them to grow up this next year. And hopefully that will look very pretty. Out in this area, I did get around to doing some things. I got 3 tomatoes planted in this little section. So these are my tangerine crims, and I'm hoping they'll like it there. I also got my gold nugget winter squash planted here. I had 3, but only 2 made it. I went to the shop and bought melons. So I have 3 melons planted here, and we'll see how they do. And then the space here is for my kabochas. So I planted 4. I think there's 3 that sprouted, and I'll probably only plant 2 here. I may squeeze in a 3rd. It kind of depends. It may be that a 3rd actually goes here, because if I zoom in, you can see that somebody has been eating that plant. So these are my butternuts. I have 2 butternuts left, but I'm pretty sure that one's not going to make it, so I might replace that with a kabocha. we'll see what happens. Somebody is eating these things, so I might have to come out and figure out what I'm going to do there. The zucchinis are starting to flower, so we have flowers and baby zucchinis coming up there, so that's exciting. And I got around to doing some weeding of this driveway, even though it doesn't look like it, and I have to do a lot more weeding. But things to come. Francis and I need to arrange to have all of that hauled off. And I do have a grand plan for this area, but I'm not going to get into it yet because it is kind of a grand plan. The potatoes got hilled up, and I've decided that since I have a few more seed potatoes, I'm going to go ahead and plop some more in here. Since obviously a bunch of those didn't make it. These ones seem to be doing fine. They're even starting to come up with some flowers. So I'm leaving that, but I'm going to throw in more potatoes here. And I might actually throw in some more potatoes over here because this one is also looking like not all of them did their thing. So we'll see what happens. We've had so much rain that I haven't been able to do any of my spraying because it's just been raining. So now we have like the really gnarly leaf curl on these. This is my aprium, I think. And I haven't even looked at the orchard ones, but down there, I have a few more things that I picked up from the nursery, so that's cool. Those are the pots that I found at the garage sale for like €2 each, and I'm going to be redoing my mint in those. And I did get around to mowing the rest of the yard. We also got around to getting rid of the pile of leaves that were over there. And unfortunately, my wisteria really seems to have problems. So it's basically, it still looks dead. So over here, we ended up basically hacksawing the plastic container that was girdling it, and in that I found like a bunch of these babies. Suckers were basically like wrapped around the tree, the vine. So I've removed all of that. I've left 2 suckers just in case this main vine is actually dead, but I'm hoping it's not. Online, they told me to like take a knife and kind of scratch it. And like, if I scratch it, well, now it's not showing. Now it's showing pretty low. So I don't know. I was scratching it down there and it was having some signs of green. So I'm going to give it a couple of weeks, probably 1 to 2 months actually, and see if it comes back. If it doesn't come back, it means that this whole thing is getting cut off, which is unfortunate. And that's why I have these 2 suckers. So I kept this one and I kept this one. And worst case scenario, we'll have to start over from that, and then it'll probably be many years before we get flowers, but at least we're not starting over completely from scratch. Other things happening down here. I did order stakes, finally. So the grapevines will get staked. I've also been working on flattening out the mound that was here, because when we had the septic redone, it basically, they did cover the ditch that they had dug to bring the outlet to the ditch, and it didn't get pounded down properly. So basically the first set of rain washed out a bunch of the dirt, and when we had the driveway redone, we went ahead and had them basically just mound a bunch of dirt here. So over the winter and the rains, that's been like pounding that down. It's now very much settled enough that I can remove all of the debris. So there's like lots of rocks, old asphalt, big chunks of concrete. So I'm removing all of those big pieces of debris and then flattening out this whole space. And I'll probably do it, I'm not sure. Yeah, you see like down in there, you can see that it is still starting to erode. So I'll have to see, but this is a work in progress and it all needs to be flattened. And other than that, I think that's really it. There's a bunch more projects that I have in mind. Like eventually I want to plant around the septic to make it prettier. I want to add a bunch more plantings in between these grapes. As a matter of fact, I just want to add more grapes. I think like between these two, I can't zoom out anymore, I can probably put one more grape. I've already added a grape in between those. My grape way over there has died, so I need to replace that. But yeah, I think the biggest things are waiting to see if the wisteria is dead and just keeping up with everything that needs to happen. So I will leave you actually with the horses over there. I will zoom in so maybe you can see they're hanging out, sleeping in the grass. But those are the neighbor horses. And I hope you had a good one, and I'll see you next week. Bye.